Blah, y'all already know what it is. Your boy Yaakov, what it do? The outlet to reality, the holdest podcast in Vegas and Chicago. What up? This is where you want to hide from your drama or maybe hide from your baby mama. Just kidding. But anyways, fans, thank you for staying tuned. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Ching. And today we have a very, very special guest who's one of my dearest friend, my mentor. She was my professor. Give it up for Kay Thomas. Hey, Kay.
Hey, David. So glad to be here with you in this COVID time.
It was hard. It was hard.
You know, I wrote a song back when COVID first came out.
Me.
About COVID.
For real?
Yeah.
Sing it. Sing. You still remember?
Okay, so just tell me one thing that you do in your life when there's COVID. Tell me one thing.
Stay home.
So anything you say, you like, I have to walk around with a mask on all day in the time of the COVID.
Oh, okay.
I can't see my best friends. I can't visit my mom in Canada in the time of the COVID.
Like that. I like it. Has like it's similar to the song, kind of like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the old school song. I got a golden ticket. You know what I'm saying? Kind of.
That's right. So right. Yeah, I've got a golden ticket. But I feel like COVID is not the golden ticket, except it could be the golden ticket because everything is a golden ticket.
Right? No, it's true. It's true. So I want to share, a really quick story about you, Kay. One of my favorite memories. Kay and I, we go way back. Like, Kay was my professor, and we even worked together at a middle school. And one of the greatest things about Kate was she wasn't afraid to try new things. And we would do dance. I love your energy, Kate. I think that's what makes you feel like you're always happy. Like I don't know what you do. I don't know if you're eating Cheerios. I don't know what it is, but it's amazing. And crazy is that a couple months ago I had our students, both of them, Gabby and Anthony, on my podcast. Now that they graduated from high school, they're doing big things. And it was so nice to, reconnect, rekindle, and it was great. And we talked about you, how we miss you, and you're amazing. And so to have you, here, they're gonna love this. They're gonna probably click. So
I miss them too. I miss the times when we let's just call those the days when we were free. We got to play. We get into a room and we had 2 hours and we would just play. And that's the thing, David, we can never give that up. If we're adults and we're in the nursing home, we still have to find an hour where we can just get together and play. No goal, no purpose, no intention, just play. Just do whatever feels good.
And Kate, what about what's your memory that you can think of about me? Because I know you have a lot.
I do have a lot of memory. I'm going to tell you how many different ways I've known David, because I've known David as a student, a collaborator. David lived in a building I owned with Jennifer for a little while, and the sad truth is I never saw David when he lived in the house. David, I think the thing that I love best about you, and I can't pinpoint a specific memory, it's just that you're so ready to take on any opportunity and to play with it. I feel like you and I have a similar kind of energy. We embrace the moment. You're like, do you want to do an improv? I say, yeah, I want to do an improv. Do you want to do an improv? Because we think life is an improv. Life is an improv. If people think there's some kind of script or there's some kind of plan, there isn't one. They're just what we're doing all the time is we're riffing. And when I see you, I'm just happy to see you because I know I can play with you.
That's true.
And so, I guess one really good memory I have is after our students did their performance at NEIU at the Northeastern Illinois University as part of the summer program that we did together, the kids did a beautiful performance and I think kind of surprise some people. And you and your mother and I were sitting at the bus stop at the end, like just waiting for a bus. And your mother was being ridiculous and she was being silly. And you and your mother have this kind of like humor. You know how to make each other laugh. And I was like, wow, this is where David comes from. Because your mother will go, and then, you just start laughing. And I can't believe your mother, because like she's sort of like, she's sweet, and then suddenly she's very, very silly. And how lucky my dad, who recently passed, he was so silly. And like to be raised by a silly parent is a gift. If you have a silly parent, you are good. So David, when you become a parent, I hope you're a silly parent.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of jokes. Yes, yes. And you know what? I have to hit 2 points that you said. So when we did that big presentation, right, for NEIU,
Yeah.
my mom was there to come like the behind the scene when we were rehearsing a couple days.
Yeah.
And she came one day and she didn't know what I was doing, right? I just told her I work with Kate, I have projects. And she sat in the front, and when she saw our performance, right, and we didn't perform a whole audience yet, it was just my mom.
Right.
She was the only audience. My mom starts crying. Do you remember, Kate?
Yeah.
She was crying because she's like, I didn't know my son can do these things, like, choreograph this beautiful play monologues, and they dance. And my mom would start crying, and it opened her eyes because she realized too at that moment, David, has that gift in entertaining other people, hosting an event. So my mom is like, wow, I can't believe it. And it's crazy because, growing up with my mom, she's a great storyteller. Like she's very animated. She stands up, she acts it out.
Mm-hmm.
And she's really good at mimicking accents. She's really good at it. So when I was growing up and I tried to share my story, my mom would actually say, "You're not funny." She'll say, "Yeah, no, for real." She's like, "That wasn't funny." Yeah, and then she just said, "You're just not funny." But she's like, David, you got to be serious. You got to come in, button shirt, like a soldier. And my family would be like, no, he's actually really funny. And she's like, no, he's not funny. So my mom and I will bump heads. And I said, I don't understand, Mom. I came from you. I learned everything I do. I learned from you. No, 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 no. I'm the only one that could do it like this. So it's funny.
Okay, so maybe she didn't want to give up her spotlight to you. But the thing that I remember about you as a student was your delivery. So like, I think you take these pauses and you talk in a way that people get pulled into your story. So I would have to say to your mother, no, he's an amazing storyteller, because like when you start to tell a story, you get hooked. You're like, okay, what's David's story? So, and I think what I like about you too is that you take everyday life and make it a story. And like, that's what we have to do as artists. It's just everyday life. We have to make that what is funny, what is beautiful, what is tragic, because that's the material we have to work with.
Wow.
Like you're always performing, whatever you're doing. And maybe I am too. And maybe that's what we like about each other, is because when we see each other, we get it. We understand that we're both ready to go into it with each other as a performance.
No, it's true.
Does that make sense? Like you and I, like we see each other and we know, hey, we can play with this. We can go somewhere. Where do you want to go? And another time I remember you made that Ebola video. Oh my God. If you've never seen David's Ebola video, which he did with his friend from NEIU, they're going, Ebola, Ebola. And it was like this beautiful, beautiful, I don't know, I think they just made it up on the spot, but it was like it stuck in my head. And like I'm singing about Ebola. So like that's what I mean. Like just take the everyday and make it something.
Yeah. No, it's a great. I'm glad you remember that because that Ebola skit was actually, for those who don't know, it's on my channel. So take one, pass it back. You're trying to find it. That video, it's funny. We actually improved it. Like I had an idea, I kept going. I was like, made up in the couch, made up in the couch, and I just kept going. And it was just so funny, but it was a really fun, little like freestyle almost. Didn't know what to expect, and it was just catchy. And I don't know what I feel like my head. I'm really good with like music. I can hear something and it becomes a song, like kind of like you were
Okay.
saying with the COVID song.
Yeah. Like you just realize like you just got to put it in a certain light. Like if you just do Ebola and in the time of the COVID, like then you're just like you're setting yourself free. Because then whatever happens that's coming at you and it's not so good, you just have to frame it in a way that you're like, it's not that bad.
Right.
Because, you know, and my friend David here is an amazing dancer and he teaches people to dance. And it's a very nice thing to enjoy dancing. And I think it's a kind of relaxation and an expression. And I don't know, I'm kind of curious, like, where are you going to be in 10 years from now, David?
So this is my thing. I'm glad you asked that question. So
You're
there's a long
young,
time.
David.
I know,
Mm-hmm.
but like for me, I don't really think too far, but I do believe that
Okay.
this is my year. I'm gonna shine. I feel like I'm gonna make it big. What makes I feel like this podcast different from a lot of other podcasts, it's fun stories that people never heard of. So it's very relatable. People could relate to this. So I think it really stands out. And you know, I love you, Kay. That's why I had to bring you because you're one of the like
Oh,
the most humblest people. And one thing I could say is, um, one thing that always sticks to me is you remember when you taught about morning pages
yeah. With Jim Blair.
with
Yeah, when we taught
Jim.
about Julia Cameron's morning pages. Yeah.
I still practice when I do a run. I start, writing down kind of like how I want my day to be, and I start being grateful for all the things around me.
David, there it is. That's all. That's all you have to do. Like you do that for the next 20 years of your life and you're going to be golden. And the other thing is like we don't really know when anything is going to happen. We don't know when our moment's coming. But we just keep doing the things that feel good and feel right in the world as a creative person. And then in doing that, you open up spaces for other people and other things to happen. So, you know, just keep doing the things that feel good and feel right. And my yoga teacher, I started taking classes from her last week on Dharma. Do you know about Dharma?
Oh, I don't know what is that.
Okay. I mean, I'm not really going to be able to give you the best explanation, but basically, Dharma is your path. It's like the thing that you are meant to do. And she actually interestingly describes it as each of us has our own movie. So you've got your David movie over there, and I've got my Kate movie over here. And like what I have to do is not try to jump into your movie because you've got your movie and I've got my movie, and we can find each other and do things together. But when I'm on my path, then I'm most authentic and I'm doing the things that I should do. And I feel like you're on your own Dharma path because, like, you know, you need to make a show. You know, you need to find creative outlets. And that means like you're going to follow your own true course, your own authentic life. And you know, honestly, we teach in school, and we tell our students, do this, do that, do this. Really what we should be promoting is like, you must follow your own authentic path. You have to know your path. And I think you're a person who does know your path, and you're not afraid of the kinds of unconventional routes to get to where you need to go.
All I was gonna say, Kay, is, you know, I gotta be honest, you one of the smartest people, because like, you know, still like, check this out for my fans out there. You know, Kay is getting her PhD, which I think is amazing. She's really pushing it. She's doing a lot of creative projects. And I one thing I remember, Kay, I don't know if you still have your studio. Remember you had your studio? Oh
I
wow.
still do. Yeah, we still have it. Uh-huh.
Share a little bit about your studio.
Sure. Okay, so actually my dissertation, my PhD writing is about the storefront that is in Chicago. It's at 3412 West Bryn Mawr. And it's a building that's owned by Northeastern Illinois University. But this building was taken over, it was a private business, and the university took it over as part of eminent domain, which is a law that permits the taking over of land for public use. So the long and the short of it is, like, we have this building, and we're a collective of art teachers. And the teachers that I work with are in the schools, they're public school teachers. And we as a group practice being at the storefront. And what we do at the storefront is we practice what we can do and what we can't do. We use our potential, which is what we have, but we don't always have to use it towards actualization. So like, we tend to think that we have potential in life. And when we have potential, we think, oh, I should actualize. I should make something come into being. Well, what Aristotle says is, no. You don't really have potential if you only always actualize. To have potential means you can also choose to have impotential, which is your ability to not do. He talks about the architect, and the architect is an architect. The architect has acquired this knowledge, but the architect is not always building. The architect must also know and learn to suffer what he or she cannot do. And in our world, we tend to think everything we do should be pushing towards actualization, making things happen, produce. Well, what we know is some of us are exhausted. And teachers, good teachers, are being squeezed for all their good potential. And then sometimes we have to say, no, we need a space where we can rest and not use all of our potential. Yeah, that's the Agnes Martin room. Agnes Martin was a painter, and she painted grids. And so what we did was we set up this space where there's just pieces of packing paper with a black dot in the middle. And the whole room is lined with these pieces of paper, and there's two mattresses in the middle of the room. And you come in, and it's kind of like a Zen room. You just sit there and you absolutely find your impotential. Ooh. You find out, you hear yourself. You actually have to. So part of what you're doing with the morning pages is what we're doing when we're in Agnes Martin. We're taking pause, and we're kind of just letting things come into us, and we're receiving, and we're processing, and we're in a state of kind of arrested development. It's hard because we live in a culture where the value is, we place value on who we are based on what we do, versus really, we're here. We're just here. We're in the world. And so here I'm kind of thinking more about like our ontological being, are just being in the world such that we are, without the kind of performance, without the kind of goals, without the kind of demands that we place on each other. Like, how can we just be together and come to know each other without kind of, I expect this from you, I want you to do this. How can we, like, it's like, that's the secret for a relationship. You want to get married one day, David?
I do. Not yet. Not right now. Not right now.
Yeah, but David, when you get into your relationship, the two of you are going to be together, and this person's going to say, David, I want you to do this. And you're going to say, well, actually, right now, I want to go make a radio show. So, like, how are you going to find the space to be together? Hold the space to be, you be David, that person is that person. And you're just like, hey, let's be together. But we don't always have to be telling each other what we need each other to do.
Yeah. I think for me, I might need somebody who's like who's really big in film or theater, who's in the arts,
Creative.
right?
Yeah.
Because I'm so busy, right, helping me out build this empire, or I can help them out. But it's just, yeah, I don't know if I could do like somebody else. It might be tricky, but careful who I gotta choose. She has to really
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. You find some, yeah. Like if you find somebody who's like, David, I want you to be David. Because like when you have somebody who lets you be you and shine with all your glory, that's good.
oh yeah. And they gotta be understanding. I'm a little, I ain't gonna lie, Kate. I got a lot of I got a lot of needs. Yeah, I got
I know. But like, I mean, yeah, you can tell your partner, hey, I'm a really fussy person and I like my shirts like this and I like my food like that. But then you can give to each other. You can love each other and give to each other.
Yeah.
You find ways to connect with each other.
Right.
And David, I'm bringing it back to love because I think that's what I think that's what we're talking about here, David. We're talking about love because like loving our projects, loving our families, loving our friends. Like you have really deep, good friendships.
Thank you. I think one secret that I learned from my father is probably he said it's sad. He said that every relationship treated as a seed. So every time you basically keep in contact with them, you're planting water in that seed and it becomes a plant. But the moment that you disconnect yourself from them, like let's say it's been over 4 years, you haven't spoke with that person, that beautiful plant or flower has just became you just died. So there's no strong roots. Even with UK, like even though we don't talk every day, I still find a way to keep in contact so we can
Oh,
always stay, I still have you. Even though you're far away, I got you.
I have you too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think, yes, I agree with your father. And I do believe you have to kind of put life into your relationships because, I mean, when you think of all the things that we are lucky enough to have good relationships, that's really, that's as rich as we can be. Because it's certainly not going to be about the material things we have. It's really going to be about the people we
Yeah.
love and how we come into relationship with them. That's deep stuff, David.
I know we have to get deep, but you know what? It's really crazy. I want to pick at your brain real quick before we do the improv. So I feel like I don't know if I'm wrong, Kate. You tell me you're wrong. It's a little personal, but I do feel like when you live with her, right? I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I love sex so much. I just
Great.
yeah, like I wake up as a guy, we're naturally happy,
You're ready to, yeah, you're ready to
Yeah,
go.
right. So I used to sometimes I'll tell this is my old partner, I'll be like, babe, I don't know how to tell you this, but I'm kind of feeling it. And she woke up, right? I said, babe, but you don't understand. You'll make me feel like $1 million. Like you don't understand. So when I would do it, go to work, and I swear I feel like Arthur, like world is slowing down. I feel so happy. my boss actually said, "Why are you smiling? Why are you like, did you win the lotto or something?" I said, "No, I just had
Yeah.
sex." You say, you say.
Good.
And I couldn't help
That's
it.
great. That's great. No, that's wonderful. I mean, I mean, it's kind of like if you and your partner are like having this beautiful connection and you're loving each other and taking care of each other and finding how to make each other happy. It's awesome. Like, that's beautiful, David.
Yeah.
Well, like all the other little tiny things that are irritations, because like life is an irritation, right? Like something comes and like gets in your eye and you're like, I got an irritation. Just flush it out. Get rid of that irritation, but like just keep trying to come back to the good and the things that make you feel happy to be together. You got to laugh with your partner a lot. Like whoever you partner with, David, you got to be laughing because you're going to be crying, but then you're going to pull yourself back out of it by laughing. And when I was meeting my partner, this is my second marriage, so I'm still really still learning how to do this. But we did a lot of improvisations, and I just felt like that was one of the things that was good for us, was like when we could like come at something from a different angle and play a character. Like we'd play a friend of ours and we'd walk in the room and like be that person, and then we reenact a scene. And that was so much fun. Or we could make fun of each other because we knew how to get at each other's like little persnicketies, and we'd like imitate them. So you got to find the way with your partner to play.
I really like that.
Oh, yeah. So if you're looking for someone, David, I would say like sex is one thing. That's a great place to harmonize. But like role playing in the middle of the day, like, hey, let's redo that scene. Like you and I were just at the grocery store and you were acting really grumpy. Can like we redo that scene and I'll be you and you be me, and like you replay it, and then suddenly something happens. You're like, I don't want to go shopping. And like you play each other, and then like somebody, and like you see the other person and you're like, oh my God, was that what I was doing? Was that me? Oh my God. So like I think that's what you and I value, is like that place where you can let go of some of the tension and you let it go. Like I'm not even so sure I can take myself seriously as anyone's teacher. I'm always like, I don't know, you be the teacher.
Well, I like that, kid. I like that. I really want to do a little quick improv with you.
Sure.
So
yeah, let's do it.
Let's pretend we're dating. What about we make it like a dramatic scene? It doesn't have to be cheating. It could be something, either you're disappointed with something and I'm trying to figure it out. Why are you mad?
Okay. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Let's go. Hey, baby, how was your day?
You know what? Like, I did ask you to pick up some kale from the store for dinner tonight. And I texted it to you, and I phoned you, and I wrote it out as a list in the morning. And I'm just wondering, like, why did you forget the kale, honey?
Babe, I've been driving a lot, and I listen to my music, and sometimes I get, but I'm sorry, baby. I could go get it, but I feel like, I'll be right back. But is there anything else, babe? I feel like maybe there's something you're not telling me.
Well, I mean, for me, it's that you are sort of getting caught up in your own projects a lot. And I feel like you're not really playing along with the project of us living together. And like your projects are more important than our projects. Is that true?
No, I think that what I'm trying to do is, of course, provide for us. So if I'm really busy in one of the projects, I want to make sure my baby has everything she needs. You got, I'm trying to make sure, like, our wedding's coming up. So I gotta really hustle, have a bunch of wine, your favorite. See, I can't even remember because I'm still looking for the list. But you know what I mean? You know what I mean. But yeah, I'm really trying to do better. And I'm sorry if I haven't been so I guess spending more time with you, I can,
Attentive. The word's attentive. Attentive, because like it's okay that you have your projects, honey. It's just that like when you come home, it's like you're still playing with those projects in your head. And I feel like if you could just come home and be like, hey, like I want to spend some time making dinner with you. Because sometimes you come home and you're still you're still texting, and then you're on the phone with your buddies, and then you're like you're talking to your mom. You're always talking to your mom, and like I'm wondering, are you marrying your mom or you're marrying me?
Okay, babe. Look. I'm gonna tell you this. Okay, I love both of you.
Oh
Okay,
no! I
now,
know.
now understand this: the moment you are my priority. Now I'm trying to do that right now, even though we're not there yet. I'm trying to. You are my first priority. If there was a fire, I have to save you first, baby. Because you are now my new family. I think what we have is beautiful. I think we're very strong, and
Yeah, we
we
are.
we're always
Yeah.
improving.
Oh yeah. No, we're like a good bottle of wine. Yeah, I know. I mean, I could probably invite your mom over for dinner so then you can be with two of your favorite women.
I would love that. I would love that.
All right.
Maybe some
Okay.
popcorn
Fine.
too.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, you invite your mom over and we'll have dinner.
Will do. But I saw that look. You gave that look like I don't know if you want it. I saw a roll eyes.
Look, as you said, it's a work in progress.
It is.
We don't know what's going to happen.
You want to know what's gonna
Did you
happen?
sign the prenuptial agreement?
The what?
The prenup.
No, I didn't. You know what? When I saw that paper, I saw that Pahrump, Vegas, in Nevada. I didn't really pay attention to the paper.
Well, okay. So, like, the prenup, like, lays out all the conditions of what we get when we get divorced.
Oh,
If we get divorced, because like this is our fourth marriage, so like this one has to be like like I've had guys take it all, so this time we have to have it in writing. Okay.
I don't know if I agree with the contract because I believe what we are is a beautiful couple, beautiful we have something special. That piece of paper could
Yeah.
destroy my life, give me nightmares because it has a lot of conditions and I know I don't have any conditions inside. So I wouldn't want a paper to dictate it's almost like if I sign these papers, I'm preparing and manifesting us getting divorced. So I think we should, put it to the side and
Okay.
we could, what we could do? We could sign a paper saying how much I love you, and I'll sign it. And every time we have an argument, you can come back to me and say, babe, you remember what you signed? You remember who you loved? You signed a contract. You know what I'm saying? And I can agree to that.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, I think right now, honey, we're gonna leave it at that because, like, my lawyer is gonna call your lawyer tomorrow. But I think it's a great idea what you're proposing. I really like it.
I appreciate it. See, I thought that was the best. I think I'm gonna keep that one better. That one was a lot better. Then you guys hear it. This is the outlet to reality, the holdest podcast in Vegas, Chicago every Tuesday. Don't forget to share, comment, and subscribe. Ching ching. And where to find me? I'm on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, the outlet to reality. My TikTok is at Yaakov28, and my Snapchat is Take One Pass It. And the famous Kate, where can my fans find you?
Oh, I don't have a place, David. I'm just out there in the world. I'm with you right now. That's where you can
Okay.
find me.